This is the Evil Never Dies podcast with Brett and Carl. This podcast may contain adult themes, violence, and strong language. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome back to the Evil Never Dies podcast, episode 281.
Well, you missed your mark. You started talking before the recording started, so sorry, dude. You missed your mark.
It
It
still
missed the
recorded.
mark. It missed the mark.
Wait till you hear it. It recorded.
I got you screwed up now.
Oh,
This has been a shit week.
yeah, it has all the way around.
Did you see my post on Facebook? I'm like, it feels like season 5 of Life, and the writers are just doing shit to cause chaos now.
Yeah, I know.
Broke dryer, broke air condition.
Oh,
Water fell into the couch from the ceiling.
God. Yeah.
I needed
It's like
eyes flag to cover up the water damage. But there was already water damage on that ceiling for years. But yeah,
just put some kills on it and repaint it. You'll be good.
not right now. Not right now.
Yeah, it's been a.
And it's
we just kept
190 degrees.
Yeah, I know.
And I almost died in the attic last night.
Jesus.
Literally. Lisa, I just remember saying, she said, if you don't come down there, I'm calling 911. And I'm like, what? And I couldn't even move. I was like unconscious almost.
200 degrees up there, man.
But I managed to watch our.
That's not that big up there either. It's just basically got enough room for your furnace, and that's it.
And a bunch of insulation that's thrown everywhere.
Yeah. So, but yeah, you got the shop back up there. Shit, man.
I managed to watch our movie of the week, and so I'm good to go for that. And I already saw me and Ayla saw that at the theater. I figured that movie was safe for Ayla, and it is really. The movie is Abigail.
Yes, it is. But
and before we get started,
the rest of the week, yesterday was a bad day too, because lost a really good heavy metal singer.
Yeah, former singer of Great White, Jack Russell, passed away after been sick a long time.
Yeah.
Had a lot of issues. He had just announced he was retiring from his band, which was called Jack Russell's Great White, and it wasn't the original band. And a month later, the poor man, he passed away, so he didn't get to enjoy his retirement. So, sad day in the hard rock. I never considered Great White. They're more hard blues rock is what I always called them, but these stupid motherfuckers want to call them hair metal. They are not hair metal. They're not even close to it.
Yep, they got thrown into that just because of the time they made it big and where they came up at. So,
which was L.A.
Yep. So,
without going into we could do an entire episode on Great White, but we won't. But yeah, they started in like the 70s in L.A.
Yep.
And Jack Russell apparently got arrested for an attempted robbery and went to jail.
Oh, yeah?
So Great White sort of had a, well, they weren't even called Great White then. I guess he got out of jail and they got the band back together. And tell you what, I forgot how successful they actually were. They played at the American Music Awards in 1990. That's pretty cool. for a, hard rock band. Even in the 90s, early 90s when the stuff was still going strong, they got nominated for a Grammy. So went triple platinum, double or platinum on their first major studio album. So they had a lot of success over the years. And then Jack Russell, I was watching an interview with him, and he said that, the album after Twice Shy, um, I think it only went like double platinum, and then the next one didn't do anything. And he's like, he knew it was over with, and then grunge hit, and said it was a sad time.
Yeah, it was a sad time for a lot of bands back then, man.
Yeah.
For sure.
The worst of times was that grunge era of music. I will always say that.
Yeah.
Even Jack Russell in that interview said it was just a bunch of negative, not even very musical. Them guys didn't even know how to play guitar, a lot of them. So, unfortunately, Jack Russell was an addict, and it got really bad. And then there was a tragedy that happened, and I think we decided it was 2003. This was after Great White broke up, which was 2001. He had started his own band, solo band, and there was a fire, and uh, tragic fire, and I don't know how many people died. It was really bad. And
Yeah.
I don't think Jack Russell ever recovered from that incident. Although
No.
I never felt he was at fault for anything. It was tour manager wanted to set the pyro, and the club had all this flammable crap on the walls. So
Yep.
Station, that was the name of the club, and I don't know exactly. There's a documentary on Tubi actually about that fire.
Yeah, I watched that.
Yeah,
Very good documentary.
but I don't know. I don't think Jack Russell really recovered from the fact that it was his band, that was
Exactly.
playing when all these people died. So I think he really fell into a lot of addiction, and eventually Great White would reform the original band, and he would have actually leave the band in 2011 and never came back. So he was not the current singer of Great White and hadn't been for all those years. But he did tour with his own band, and I don't remember him coming to Dallas anytime in the last 5 years. If he did, it was not published at all.
I seen them back in the heyday when I
I
was
did too. They were opening for somebody. I don't remember.
Rat. I seen them. They played with Rat and Warrant.
That would have been a good show back then.
Rat sucked though. They sounded like shit.
Well, Rat kind of went to hell.
Well, that was their heyday too. It was like 88, 89 when I seen it. Something like that.
Stephen Percy was never a good live singer. He was a lot like Vince, I think, more of a showman.
Yeah.
Jack Russell, that motherfucker could sing.
Hey, kid.
I mean, I was listening tonight, like I think you mentioned. I just amazed how powerful his voice was.
Exactly.
Um, Dude should have been up there in the ranks of Dio and all them, I think, but unfortunately, he never got the praise that he deserved. I mean, Great White did achieve a lot of success, but they never really recovered from that fire, at least Jack Russell. And then, a lot of the bands from the 80s had that revival in the 2000s, and Great White just wasn't one of them. They didn't get on the tours with some of the other bands, and they just sort of got forgotten, even by me. And they were one of my favorite bands, if
Me
not my
too.
favorite band, for about a year or two.
Yep.
So sad day, and Jack Russell passed away, but at least he's out of pain, because I think the guy's really been struggling for a few years. And didn't you say you thought he did a show in a wheelchair even?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's
Like a year
sad.
ago or so, man. Uh,
So
like that's Paul Diano's doing the same thing. He's coming
he
on.
is.
No, you got to give him props for doing it, but
Yeah.
it's like I don't know.
Well, all the internet idiots are talking shit because Great White, who's been without Jack Russell since 2011, are playing a show tonight, and everybody's curious as to how they're going to handle it. And I'm sure they'll handle it, the best way they can. Their original lead singer passed away, and a lot of animosity there, but I'm sure they're destroyed as much as anybody that.
Exactly.
So sad story. Um, definitely rest in peace, Jack Russell, and your voice will always remain. That dude could sing Led Zeppelin better than Robert Plant, I do believe.
Yeah, they knocked that out of the park, dude, on that video you sent me.
Yes, they did.
That's it's like wow.
Yeah.
So
Great band, never got, they, like I said, they had some success, but they never got the credit they should have. They should have been a whole lot bigger, and they should have really been able to make a comeback in the 2000s. And, but unfortunately, Jack Russell was not um, able to perform at that level anymore. So,
yeah.
but
All right.
sending lots of love toward his family and even to the Great White Band, because even if guy wasn't in the band now, it's still like losing a member of your family. So that's my little take on that. I'm gonna do a midweek on a Great White album soon, and I'll get into more details about the band. So that's our little take on that. And I guess we're on to our movie,
We're on to our movie.
which is Abigail.
Abigail from 2024.
Brand new movie.
American horror comedy.
It was a lot of comedy in that.
I don't think they really intentionally tried to make it a comedy aspect of it
I
though.
don't know, but it sure came off as being pretty freaking silly in parts.
Yeah. All right. It was directed by Matt Bettinelli Olpen and Tyler Gillette.
And I am not familiar with them two guys.
Me neither. Uh, not really much info on them, really. They've been a team for a while, though. So, written by Stephen Shields and Gary Busick.
Gary Busey or Gary Busick?
Busick or Busick, Busick.
I say if Gary Busey wrote it, I could see why it has some weirdness.
Guy Busick, not
Oh,
Gary.
dude, you're screwing it up.
I didn't say Gary. I said Guy.
You said Gary Busick. Listen to the replay.
Okay, I will.
No, you won't.
Produced by William Sherrick, James Vanderbilt, Paul Neinstein, Trip Vincent, and Ched Villela.
I have no idea who any of these people are. And this is 2004. It's not like we're reviewing a movie from the 60s.
2024, I know.
Yeah.
Cinematography by Aaron Morton, edited by Michael P. Shaver, music by Brian Tyler, production company Project X Entertainment, Vincent Films, and Radio Silence Productions.
And I'm not familiar with any of them either.
Me neither. This is all new to us. But it wasn't our favorite production company though. So
No, it was not Bloomhouse.
Distributed by Universal Pictures. It was released at the Overlook Film Festival for the premiere on April 7th, 2024, and then in the United States on April 19th, 2024. Has a running time of 109 minutes. United States is the country, English language. Budget was $28 million. And it brought back 42.4 million at the box office. And who knows how much it's made now on streaming.
Yeah, and it's now on Peacock, which it's a Universal film. So Peacock is home of Universal Pictures, of course.
Is it even available on Blu-ray or anything yet?
It is actually. They do got a Blu-ray, and apparently they got a featurette on it, making a documentary, and then there's a audio commentary. So, some of these newer movies are sort of getting forgotten by Blu-ray, but no, it's out there. Yeah, Megan, which was last year's girl monster movie. I've got that on 4K now.
Yeah, I
And
got
it
that.
doesn't have a lot of added bonuses to it, but I like that movie a lot.
Yeah, I bought it on Blu-ray. They had it on sale.
Yeah. I sort of think Abigail was sort of riding on Megan's success, maybe, but when we start out here, apparently this what was that production company? I don't remember.
The
Something radio.
Radio Silence Productions.
Them. Radio Sound. They had told Universal that they wanted to remake Dracula's Daughter. And Universal, I've talked about this before, had this grand scheme of doing a dark universe, they called it. Dark Universal or something to that effect. It was going to be all the Universal monsters in modern day movies. Started with the Mummy and ended with the Mummy because Tom Cruise ruined the movie and the entire universe. So this was going to be another relaunch of I think the Invisible Man fell in that, and this Dracula's Daughter. It was going to be standalone Universal monster movies.
And they're including Renfield and
Ranfield?
yeah, they're including that in this too. So
Well,
and the upcoming Nosferatu.
Universal don't even own Nosferatu.
Who's doing Nosferatu?
It's not Universal.
Hmm.
Unless they bought the rights to it. All I know is this movie did not become Dracula's Daughter. It changed at the last minute or something. I don't know. I mean, they do have a little, and this is not spoiling the end. The ending makes it sound like it could possibly be a Dracula character involved, but it's not specific or nothing. So this, the original Dracula's Daughter was one of the old Universal films. I would not mind reviewing that movie coming up.
Yep. Need to put that on the list
We're going to put it on the list because everybody likes us talking about Dracula.
from
So
1936.
loosely, I could see this as a semi-modern remake of that movie, but not really. Abigail, where do you want to go now? You want me to go over the plot?
Yeah, go over the plot.
Okay, well, anybody who's familiar with this movie, this is no spoiler. Abigail is a ballerina vampire. That's right. She's a 12-year-old girl who is a vampire. So, this wild group of people are hired to basically kidnap this girl from where was she at? She was at her ballet practice.
Yeah.
Um, they were going to kidnap her for a ransom and hold her so her rich father would pay him the ransom. And they took her to this creepy, very creepy manor, and they were holding her there. And the excuse me, they were all given fake names, which lined up with the Rat Pack,
Yeah.
including one was named Don Rickles, though, because he was supposedly funny. So the Rat Pack are keeping Abigail safe. There's one lady in particular who was a mother, had a son who was supposed to take care of the girl, and everything goes straight to hell really quick. When they find out Abigail is a vampire,
Well, they
and they
find
find out,
who her father is.
and they found out her father was this really very powerful gangster,
Yeah.
mafia figure.
And then they're like, "Oh fuck, we need to just get the fuck out of
We
here."
need to get the fuck out of here, and they can't get the fuck out of there. They're stuck there, and
No.
it goes to hell in a handbasket for these people.
Yeah.
Don't ever kidnap a 12-year-old ballerina because they may end up being a vampire, is what we learned from Abigail,
Okay.
which could have been Dracula's daughter, but it's not. But it could have been.
All right, let's go over the cast here.
How'd you like that? I actually had a plot for the first time in 3 weeks.
Yeah. Good job.
Well, we finally had a movie that I semi enjoyed, I think. Not that I didn't enjoy Count Dracula with Christopher Lee. That movie is hard to explain. It's just basically following the Dracula novel. This was a good little overview of the movie without spoiling anything.
All right, cast. We got Alicia Weir as Abigail, the centuries-old vampire who has the appearance of a 12-year-old girl.
And she did a great job.
Yeah, she did. She did an awesome job. And she learned how to ballet to do this movie. She learned how to do ballet. Melissa Barrera as Joey, military medic and recovering addict. Dan Stevens as Frank, a corrupt former police detective. Catherine Newton as Sammy, a thrill-seeking hacker from a wealthy upbringing. Will Catlett as Rickles, a Marine sniper who lives by his own moral code.
Don Rickles. And he wasn't even the funny guy.
No, he hardly had any lines.
Any lines, yeah.
Kevin Durand as Peter, a physically imposing former mob goon struggling with his conscience. Next, we got Angus Cloud as Dean, a talented sociopathic getaway driver. And little note, he passed away before the movie was actually done being produced, too.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Sad story.
Next we got Giancarlo Esposito as Lambert.
That is one of my favorite actors of all time right there.
Yep.
That motherfucker's Moff Gideon in the Mandalorian. I know you don't know who but any of that means. Everything he plays in, he's freaking good.
He was in Breaking Bad.
He was in Breaking Bad, yeah.
Better Call Saul.
Love this guy. He's one of my favorite actors.
Yeah.
He plays a Sith, well, he wasn't a Sith Lord, but he was a bad guy in Star Wars. Such a good job. He like tortures Grogu. So that's that's gonna piss anybody off, even you, and you don't even know who Grogu is.
And last but not least, we got Matthew Good as the father, Christophe Lazar, an ancient vampire, infamous crime lord, and Abigail's father.
And says he's went by many, many names over the centuries.
Many.
So is it possible he could have been Dracula? You never know. They leave it sort of make you wonder.
Well, there's lots of signs throughout the movie that it possibly could be.
Could be, but we don't know for a fact. We just know that was originally going to be, but maybe that was left over from when it was going to be Dracula. Good God, look who's in the background this week. How'd he get there? That's Vampire Puppet right there, fans.
Vampire Puppet.
How'd he get there? Dance for us. Whoa.
Ooh, he's boogieing. He knocked something over. He's shaking
Vampire
his ass
Puppet's
so much.
going crazy. Good Lord.
He
He had to make an appearance for this movie. He's excited about it. All right, back to the story.
Oh, let's see here. The filming started May 15th, 2023 in Dublin, Ireland. And I guess they were intending to make the scene be in Boston, Massachusetts, but the city location has never been actually
identified
in the movie. So in the final, let's see here. The opening dance performance was filmed at, I'm gonna fuck this up, I know. Board Gace Energy Theater in Dublin. And most of the filming took place at the Glen Maroon House, aka the Guinness Manor, which is the ancestral home of the prominent Guinness family.
Guinness beers?
That's German. No, Guinness.
Germany.
I don't know. I thought Guinness was Irish.
Dude, I have no idea. I don't drink beer.
I don't either.
I only drink entire bottles of vanilla vodka with stepdaughters and stay up till 5 a.m.
Oh, crazy fucker.
I did it last Friday after the show.
Oh, shit. Let's see here.
Then I went school shopping, and after that, I woke up after 1.5 hours of sleep, so I can still hold up my heavy metal roots a bit.
Well, right when they were in the middle of filming this, the SAG strike started. So they had to stop filming, and then they resumed filming after the strike. in November 23rd and wrapped on December 14th. And like I said, the Angus Cloud guy,
Passed away.
yeah, on July 31st, right after they finish basically the first half of it. So, and they do dedicate it to him at the end of the movie in the credits. All right. What'd you think of the score on this, Carl?
Not real impressed.
Sort of lackluster and non-memorable for sure.
There's a Danzig song in it. That's about all I really have positive to say about it. Glenn Danzig, of course.
Yeah. Blood and Tears is the name of that song, which
Yeah,
I don't even remember hearing it in there.
I don't either, but it's supposedly there. I don't even know if Danzig is still a band because Glenn's back with the Misfits. So I don't know where that song came from, if it was something old, something new, or what.
Who knows?
I'll tell you what, if the Misfits ever come back to town with Glenn, we need to go to that.
Yeah, that's a one in a lifetime show that you probably won't ever see again.
Well, they played last year, like, was it 2 years ago on Halloween?
Yeah, was that last year? I think it
I
was
think it was
last
last
year.
year. Yeah.
It was like the day before Halloween or something.
I think they're going to keep touring as the Misfits. I think Glenn's happy with it. So
Well, good. Is it all the original members or
it's just two of them, I think.
okay?
We're not going to make this into the Misfits. We'll do that another episode.
Oh,
This show's
shit.
all over the place, but we had to mention Jack Russell. We couldn't let
Yeah.
that's one of our dudes right there.
All right. Let's see here. I guess we're gonna go on to trivia because this movie being so new, it's
Yeah.
it let's
It's
see
hard for
here.
us to do new movies the way we do movies since we usually do
Exactly.
something from 40 years ago.
It has been nominated for one, two, three, four, five Chainsaw Awards from Fangoria.
I did see that.
It's nominated for Best Makeup, Best Supporting Performance by Catherine Newton, Best Supporting Performance by Dan Stevens, Best Supporting Performance for Alicia Weir, and Best Wide Release Film. So, when did
How
them come
many
out?
how many wide release horror movies have came out in 2024? I don't recall a lot. Not really.
I don't know.
This is the only one I've seen in the theater this year.
And it was
So
and it was also nominated for Best Horror Movie for the Astra Mid-Season Movie Awards.
when are we doing the Evil Never Dies awards? You
The
told me we were going to do that in 2023.
did I
I'm
say
still waiting.
did I say that?
You did.
Think up the categories. You think up the
You
categories
told
and
me that last time and I gave you some and you never did anything with it.
are they on the list?
No, I didn't put them on a list. I told you in the backyard.
Like I'm going to remember that 6 months ago.
I don't know. You were drunk when you said we were going to do the awards.
Oh shit. Was I?
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Drunk guy on the left.
Drunk slob on the left. Oh
That made
shit.
me snort. All
Oh.
right, trivia.
All right, let's see here. The directors were so impressed by Alicia Weir's dancing that they added more dance sequences to the film. She did do a good job.
Yeah, but there's one dance sequence that sort of ruined the whole thing. When the one girl starts dancing with her, it was stupid.
Yeah, that's
We're
true.
not spoiling it, but it was really stupid.
Okay, let's see here. Kevin Durant was able to change his character origins and used his native Quebec accent, something he's never done on film before, which he pitched this to the directors. It was a no-brainer, and all the cast were able to help design the look of the characters, develop and after their backstories. Co-director Tyler Gillette even said, of course, like, why would you say no to that flavor? It makes it so interesting and so specific.
I guess. I don't know why.
Because usually he didn't talk. Have you seen him in any of them other movies? In his other movies, he played in one of the uh superhero movies. I forget which one it was.
Come on, Brett, you're making this anticlimactic here. You don't even know what you're talking about.
All
I'm,
right.
I'm gonna tell Scarlett on you.
No, don't do that. I'm already on the shit list in enough places.
Okay, back to trivia.
The music in the opening titles is Tchaikovsky Swan Lake, and that actually made its curtain call on March the 4th, 1877, at Moscow's Bolshoi Theater.
I
And it was
recognized it when I
also
heard it.
used in the opening titles of Dracula,
Yes.
1931.
Yep, I recognized it when I heard it. I'm up on some classical music, believe it or not.
Okay, here's where we get into the similarities with the Dracula character. There's a crest visible in a few shots, such as on the library floor and the security gates over the front entrance, which they can't get out of.
And
Heavily
what is the
resembles the
crest?
heavily resembles the Dracula crest from some of the old Universal movies.
You always call it the Lugosi crest.
The Lugosi crest, okay.
That's what I've always called it. It's not the name of it.
Let's see here. Melissa Barrera revealed that this movie was the one with the most blood that she's ever experienced in a movie.
She hasn't seen an Evil Dead movie.
I was thinking that the whole time. She said, I've seen some movies that have like a bathtub full of blood, or some blood comes out like water, but talking about the amount of blood that you see throughout the movie, this is probably up there with most. It's a lot. We have blood cannons. I'd say that's a lot.
Well, my problem is the blood didn't look very realistic. I don't
No,
know if it's supposed to be vampire blood or what, but it was real dark looking blood. It
yeah,
it actually bothered me because I'm like that don't look very bloody. It looks very muddy. Did you notice that?
yeah, it wasn't very bright. It was
It wasn't very bright. It was very fakey looking
very
blood.
viscous looking.
Yeah, but I thought maybe it was because it was vampire blood. But then again, these were from humans, so I don't freaking know. I don't know why the blood looked that way. Maybe
Part of the pre-production involved having Angus Cloud drawing a series of dicks, which were then sent to the filmmakers so they could choose the style that would end up on Kevin Durant's face. Remember, they drew a dick on it. He drew a
yeah,
dick.
and I thought that was it made no fucking sense whatsoever.
I guess they were fucking with him because he was asleep.
I guess I didn't. I was like, why is this even in the movie?
The
I guess
direct,
that's the so-called comedy element of this movie.
yeah. The directors refer to the film as Ready or Not from 2019 on steroids. I have not seen that movie or
I've
even.
never even heard of that movie. It must not be worth a shit if we ain't seen or heard of it.
We already talked about that being filmed in two parts because of SAG. Abigail's Rolls Royce registration number is BLU 9051. Tribute to Bella Lugosi.
That's pretty cool.
That was a cool Rolls Royce too.
It was. What did they do with the driver?
I don't know. Was he just
I think he was just left behind.
yeah, because they pulled in the gate. So I don't know where he went. Huh. He must have just sat in the car.
Waiting on all this to happen.
Oh shit. On why the film is so gory, co-director Tyler Gillette revealed our thing with blood is it always has to feel viscous. The minute it feels thin, it's not interesting. We want it to stick to you. So
I don't think they did a good job with the blood. Like I said, I think they missed they dropped the ball on this one.
yeah, it was. I think it was too dark
And
too.
there was one instance where the guy's throwing up blood everywhere, and it almost made me feel like they were trying to mock or copy Evil Dead, and it wasn't done very well. So director, good. I don't think he did very good on the blood thing.
Abigail is the Hebrew name for my father's joy. So
Okay.
much of the film is tinted as they were filming a lot of day for night shots, given the short nights in Ireland's summer.
I noticed that. I can only imagine what this might look like on 4K. I don't think it's on 4K though. I know there's a Blu-ray version of it. I don't know, Peacock's supposed to be in 4K, but I don't think it is.
Might be what's the step up from Blu-ray? 2K?
Yeah, maybe. Peacock isn't the greatest streaming. Uh, the picture's not as clear as some of the others. Netflix has the clearest.
I don't know. What do you call it? The stuff in 4K on Amazon's pretty clear too.
Yeah.
The photos on Abigail's bedside are of the filmmakers and their pets.
Okay.
All right, here. Okay, this is where it's talking about the movies again. This is where I got the Nosferatu thing. It's saying this is the third of four Universal pictures based on Bram Stoker's Dracula released in 2 years. The others being Renfield, The Last Voyage of the Demeter, and Nosferatu.
I'm looking this thing up because I don't um yep, Universal actually it's going to be distributed by Universal internationally, but Focus features in the United States. And this is the upcoming Nosferatu movie that will when is it being released? It doesn't tell me.
I think Christmas, isn't it? Around Christmas time.
Christmas Day, oddly enough.
You know,
It's got the dude that plays the Pennywise in the new Pennywise is Count Orlok. Remember, it's not Dracula and Nosferatu. It was Count Orlok because they didn't own the rights to the name Dracula, and they actually got sued by I think the Bram Stoker people, and they tried to destroy every copy of that movie.
yeah, that was a
It was
big
almost
thing.
lost.
That was a big thing back in what, 22?
Yeah.
1922. This movie contains 224 uses of the word fuck and its
Yeah, it was
derivatives.
overused.
The character Lambert, portrayed by Giancarlo Esposito, was named after the director Lambert Hillier. He also directed Dracula's Daughter.
So more connections to the original movie.
Yep. The action sequences in the movie were one of the biggest differences Melissa Barrera saw between her experiences on the Scream franchise. Yeah, she was in Scream 5 and 6, if you don't know.
I don't know.
Citing her work with the stunt team as another reason why she hopes to star in an action-focused movie in the future. She was just, I think she was more or less just there for eye candy, more or less, because she really didn't.
Do much.
She had a pretty good scene at the end there, I guess.
Yeah, she
That
did.
was very uh Evil Dead
It
esque
was.
too. Let's see here. Okay, here's the last one. When Frank says, "All right, let's go kill us a fucking vampire," It's a nod to George Clooney's quote as Seth from Dusk to Dawn when he says, "All right, let's go kill some fucking vampires."
Well, that reminds me, George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino are at odds with each other. I read that in the news this week too, so
Oh,
I'm sure
probably
that's
probably because of political shit.
probably. Now, Quentin Tarantino said George Clooney wasn't even a real actor in his opinion. So
Oh
I'm
shit.
sorry, but I would take Tarantino over George Clooney any day of the week myself.
Same here.
Love, I love my Tarantino. Dude's awesome.
Yeah, yes.
From Dusk Till Dawn was good too, and yeah, that if you don't know, George Clooney was in that movie, but now they don't like each other, and I think you're right. It's political.
Probably because one's far left and one's far right.
That's true.
So
I
there you
still
go.
say one of these days I want to do that. What Once Upon a Time in Hollywood for a show.
Yeah, that we
It's
could do
got
that.
Charlie Manson in it. Don't that count as evil enough?
Yeah, that's pretty evil. Yeah,
Putting it
we could
on the
do that.
list.
I love that movie,
Oh,
man.
that movie's fucking awesome, man.
It's what 3.5 hours long
I
almost
don't
or
care.
some
It could
shit.
have been 4 hours long.
Yeah, it's a very good movie for sure.
So
But that's all
that's
the
our
trivia I got.
that's
So
our Quentin Tarantino talk for the week. So back to Abigail.
that's all I got for the trivia. There's like I said, newer movie, you don't get much stuff.
Don't
So,
get much stuff.
but so all right, Carl,
I'll go first.
go
Okay,
first.
so saw it in the theater. Was a little disappointed, honestly. I think because it was a little bit too humorous for me. I don't particularly like my vampire movies humorous, unless it's from Dusk Till Dawn, but that's another story. We need to add that to the list as well, by the way.
Sure, yeah.
I think it might be on there. I don't know. But yeah, it was a little humorous and seemed a little silly and a little far-fetched. But I do like the whole you got this group of strangers who kidnapped the girl and they trying to figure out who each other is, and then everything goes to hell in a handbasket. I wasn't impressed with the special effects. I mean, for 2024, I don't think these guys did a great job with it. There was a beheading. It didn't even look remotely close to realistic at all. Um, the soundtrack was non-existent. I didn't even pay any attention except for the ballet parts, and they did use some good music for that. Um, the acting was good. The little girl was great. Something just beeped at me. I don't know what that was about. Um, so I did enjoy it. This is the second and third time that I've watched it. Um, it's not something that's going to go on my vampire wall, unfortunately. It's worth watching, but it's not a classic vampire movie at all. If it had been a little bit more serious, and maybe if they had have made it more a little bit Dracula's daughter, it could have been better. But it's got its good moments, it's got its bad. I'm gonna give this movie a 2.75.
2.75.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I seen this probably 3 months ago
Yep.
when it was on one of my things that I got that I can watch movies on. But then I
What?
watched. But
Are
then
you
I
pirating, motherfucker? Are you pirating?
no, I'm not saying that. I borrowed off somebody.
Okay.
But then I watched it last night again, and like you said, it's okay. It's mediocre. Didn't like the blood.
No, the special effects just really are not great.
Yeah, they could have did way better. They probably should have used a little bit more of their budget for that.
They should have.
Anybody can make 700-800 gallons of blood. It's not hard and
No,
really not that expensive. Uh, just
sort of nonchalant too,
it
huh?
sort of had a good story. Wasn't bad to it, I would say.
The story was okay.
Uh, that little girl, she did an awesome job, though.
Well, actually, the story don't make a whole lot of damn sense, really, to come to think of it.
Yeah, it's sort of all over the place.
Yeah.
But when they promoted this too, they made it like you already knew what you're getting into before
Yeah.
you see
We're sitting here trying not to spoil the movie, but once you watch the trailer, it's going to spoil the movie. So we should have spoiled it a little more maybe for the review. I don't know.
We'll leave it.
We'll leave it
be.
be.
But yeah, I think it could have been done a little more. Maybe if they would have went more with the Dracula's daughter aspect, like you said, maybe they should have went that route instead of changing it up like they did. So I'm gonna give it a 3.
I was going to give it a 3, but I thought I'd give it a little notch below a 3 just because I'm like that.
I guess
It's a vampire movie. You're going to have to kick it into high gear for me to like it. And I don't dislike it. Don't get me wrong.
Well, I don't dislike it either. It was fun, you know.
I don't have the Blu-ray to review. I recommend watching it. Yes. I don't find it at all vulgar or bad or anything. I almost think it should be without the fuck words, it should be a PG-13 movie.
Yeah.
Blood was fake, so yeah. It's not really that. It's like they think they made this real graphically bad movie, but to me, I thought just the opposite.
Well, it was just bloody, more or less.
Yeah.
So,
take out a few of the F words, and it's a kids' movie.
Yeah.
Or am I just that demented? I don't think so. Megan's better.
Yes, Megan is definitely better for sure.
And the girl named movies of 2023 and 2024.
Yeah.
And that's all I got on
That's all I got too,
Abigail.
man. So I guess either me or Carl will talk to y'all
on
Wednesday for the midweek. We just hit 200,000 views on the YouTube. We really appreciate everybody that watches and listens, and check us out on all the social medias and hit that like and subscribe button for sure.
We really getting somewhere with the YouTube.
800 subscribers now too we're up to. So
yeah, I was asking Brett
thank
earlier
you, everybody.
when we hit 1,000. He's like, I don't know.
Pat on the back.
Out.
Pat on the back, kicking the ass.
Keeps going up. So yeah, thanks everybody who watches and listens.
All right, everybody. We will talk to you later. Stay evil.
You all came highly recommended. You know the rules. No real names, no backstories, no cell phones.
So whose kid is she?
A very wealthy man who's about to be $50 million poorer.
I'm here to make sure you're safe.
What's your name? Mine's Abigail.
You can call me Joey.
Do you have any kids?
I have a little boy.
See you in 24 hours.
Do you know what a pinky promise is? If you behave and do as we say, I pinky promise you, it'll all be over soon.
Joey,
Yeah.
I'm sorry about what's gonna happen to you.
What the?
We gotta get out of here.
I think she knows something.
Guys.
What is that thing?
We kidnapped a vampire. A ballerina vampire.
Okay, how do we kill a vampire? What are we talking about? Like an Anne Rice or a True Blood? You know, Twilight? Stake through the heart.
Daylight is a big one.
All right, let's go kill us a vampire. Ready?
What can I say? I like playing with my phone.
Whoa! She's flying! Vampire on my ass! I hate ballet.